Welcome to our webinar. Today's webinar is using the Gateway platform to sell virtual stock products. So my name's Andrew Talbot and I'm going to take you on about a 10-minute tour of what virtual stock products are and why Custom Gateway is interested in them and why hopefully you should be too. So let's start by talking about what the objectives for this short video are. Dropship products is a term you've probably all heard. So dropship, virtual, they're really the same sort of thing. They're products that don't exist in your warehouse or your inventory until they're sold, and in many cases never will because they're dropshipped directly to the consumer. So they're obviously popular in today's e-commerce world because there's no cost in storing them. And what we've done within Custom Gateway is given you a way of managing these virtual stock products because of our expertise in personalized products. And the objective today is really just to talk you through how we achieve that. So I'm going to start off by playing you a little video we've had created. It's only just over a minute, but I think it kind of explains things very well. So let me just play the video for you.
Understanding the on-demand business model. Brands upload their available stock to our custom product platform, CPP. The stock is then made available to retailers in our network via API. Once selected, the products can be published on any website and are ready to be ordered. Our order management system, OMS, automatically collects the orders from the retailers, which are then sent to the relevant warehouse along with the appropriate branded paperwork. Once the orders have been picked, an agreed shipping company collects the orders for dropship fulfillment, with customers receiving their purchase in exactly the same way as if it had been dispatched from the retailer's own warehouse. More sales, happy customers, and all for no extra inventory cost. Custom Gateway, enabling the on-demand business model.
So hopefully that gave you a little bit of a better idea about how we work with virtual or dropship products. So I thought what would be useful to do then is sort of define two of the main types. So this webinar is all about stock or on-demand products. So neither of these product types are customized by the customer in the front end, but both use the same fulfillment process. One still triggers some printing, the other is purely about the movement of stock. So, as the name might suggest, print on demand is when you have a blank product and you, in essence, print a set design on it. So, from a customer's perspective, the product just looks the same on the front end and they're not aware whether it's kept on a shelf or printed on demand. But to give you an idea, Amazon is now the world's biggest t-shirt printer, and the majority of Amazon t-shirts sold are printed on demand. But most people probably wouldn't know that. So that's a virtual stock product, a print on demand product. And the dropship stock product, or again, often called virtual, is simply stock that sits in somebody else's shelf, is sold on your website, your shop, your online platform, and then it's either shipped directly to the consumer or dropped off at your distribution center, depending on your infrastructure. So the reason we've got into these type of products is we started life just doing customized products, but obviously built a very effective infrastructure for, managing those customized products, delivery direct to the client. So various clients then started to ask us, well, can we use your infrastructure for just virtual stock or print-on-demand products? And obviously the answer to that was yes. And as I'm about to show you, we've sort of evolved our platform to have functionality in those areas too. So any supplier or retailer using our platform, if you're a supplier, you can publish your stock products for retailers to use. And if you're a retailer, by implementing our technology, it means you can handle on-demand products that aren't personalized or customized like these virtual stock products I've just explained to you. So it's probably best now to just explain quickly how we deal with stock, because there's 4 fundamental ways we can deal with stock within our platform. So if you've got a blank product on our platform, it can have a stock-based product. So the simplest example is to think of a white t-shirt, and that white t-shirt could become 1,000 other SKUs depending on what you print on it in a print-on-demand world. So we allow you to store a blank t-shirt on our platform and then distribute the stock over hundreds of different SKU lines. There's also the scenario, particularly in the t-shirt or garment printing world, where you don't keep any stock at all, even if you're a printer, because there's a very effective wholesale network, well, all around the world really, on garments, and we call these wholesale blanks. So you could also base a product based on a wholesale blank, and then when the retailer orders the product, we'll automatically send the order to the blank supplier to the printer to fulfill it to the end user. So it's just an effective supply chain, really. Then we have just a straight stock product, which could be anything really, again, sitting in someone else's warehouse. And then the last type we have, because it's kind of more complicated, and again, I'll use the t-shirt example, but this isn't all about t-shirts, is, one white t-shirt could have 5 different sizes and 7 different varieties, but on the website, it's kind of one product. So what we do is deal with all the product variants behind the scenes, so you can stock all the different options for the product, but only see one on the screen. And I guess then we're just going to quickly talk about how you display those on your website. So as I've said, really a print-on-demand or virtual stock product doesn't need any of our front-end technology to work. It can just look like any other product on your website. However, there are people, and let's give you an example here now of this t-shirt, and let's just say in this case you couldn't add text to it. People like to use our Smart Link technology for print-on-demand or just standard stock products when you can still add some interactivity to it. So in this particular example, if I click on this t-shirt, it lets me see the different colour options available for that t-shirt in an interactive format. And obviously on t-shirts as well, as we discussed, you have the sizes. So we might say, I want that one in extra large. And it adds a little bit more interactive theatre. It also adds the opportunity. So if we go and look at this one, for instance, there is nothing here. It's our standard iframe. Excuse the word error. It's on our demo site, so it's not a real e-commerce site. But it allows you to choose your quantity and add this product to cart. Now, the reason that's interesting is if you were selling lots of personalised products, you'd need an interface this size on your screen. And if you didn't want to have 2 styles of page, you can still sell a standard product within the same Smart Link, if you like. So going back to our system here, Smart Links are still useful for virtual stock or print-on-demand products, although the predominant use is a smart code. So you use none of our technology in the front end. You just get your website to send us the order and confirm it's been paid, and then we handle the infrastructure to deliver it to the different suppliers, which I'll show you in a minute. I also thought I would just give you a quick show here of the stock screen. So that's on the tabs across the top of Gateway OMS. You have Stock Manager. That lets you see the Inventory tab and the Stock Request tab. So really this is just about stock management. So it lets you see all the different products, what the current stock level is, and as we'll talk about in a minute, you've got an export option, an import option, an API option. So what this does, it enables suppliers to keep their stock up to date within the Gateway system, so retailers can also interrogate it, if that makes sense. So if I then pop back into our presentation here now, so I think the uploading stock should make sense, and then we've got the sharing stock. So once I'm a supplier who's shared my stock, going back to here, into Gateway, I can then share my stock. So that could be via an export file, which is quite a primitive way, or we've got live interactive webhooks, order and XML APIs, order shipping APIs, stock APIs, product APIs. So we have a range of APIs. So once a supplier has their stock, so a supplier could be selling blanks to retailers, could be selling print on demand. It really doesn't matter. And from a retailer's perspective, all they have to do is that one integration with ourselves, and then their website can send us on-demand orders. And obviously then we go into our traditional order management system. And where this is particularly useful, if I click on the next one, is in the audit trail. So just like a personalised order, obviously a personalised order, we create artwork and send it to a supplier. On an on-demand order, all we do, we might create some branded paperwork for you if you want the products to go direct to the customer, or we might, simply send them, and you can see on the audit trail here, it confirms when the suppliers received it and when the suppliers dispatched it. So from a retailer, you've got control. You don't need to worry about what's going on. You can set up reports if you wish for all orders that have been received and not dispatched. But it gives a very transparent process when we've sent the stock files. And then suppliers can obviously log on, use our system, or if they have a more sophisticated warehouse management system, they can connect to that via API. So that's the next thing we really talk about here. Oops. So in terms of supplier integrations, we can send the orders to suppliers as a single order, so we can drip them non-stop. It arrives on the retailer site, Gateway knows about it, we send it instantly to the supplier. So, within seconds of the order being placed on the site, it could be with the supplier. Some suppliers don't really have the facility to do single orders in the dropship model. So they would do what we call consolidated orders. So maybe at a certain time each day, we will gather up all the orders placed and send them as one consolidated order. And in many cases, if you've got a more sophisticated infrastructure, or even using one of our carrier integrations, you can then go and collect them from the supplier back to your distribution center or warehouse and distribute them as if they're yours. So we have two different options. A drip, where a supplier is set up for dropship and can use that, or a consolidation. And one of the good things we've evolved, obviously, in sending millions of personalised products around the world is a series of shipping integrations. So we've got seamless integration with most of the leading carriers on most continents through either direct integration or what we call shipping aggregators, people like ShipStation or Ship2Go. Now, what we can do then is obviously when we send the order to the supplier, we can actually send the carrier in later that day to pick it up, so it's delivered by the same carrier we use for the others. Or we could use that carrier to pick up the consolidated order and bring it back to our own warehouse. We always put the right label on things, and if it's going direct, we always do a tracking. So hopefully our small video and the rest of things that we do I've shown to you in this presentation will give you a better idea of how Custom Gateway can be used to sell virtual stock products, as well as, our traditional user base of customized products. As always, you can find stuff on our website, custom-gateway.com, or we're always keen to hear from you in any way you want. Use the contact section on the website. Thank you for listening.